Hello, and welcome to the Yacht Club, the weekly show where we talk about what happens in the verse over the last week. We talk about the hottest topics and go over what everyone's been talking about in Discord and around the little nooks and crannies of the net, Reddit, etc. We try to do this without spilling our drinks, and then we also go through and answer questions from viewers just like you. So for the next hour, what we do is we invite you to sit back, relax, grab your drink, just like we have, and enjoy the show with us. It may be more than an hour, but otherwise we're going to have some fun. So let's do some introductions. Dr. Murray, what are you drinking today?
I have a
Better not be water.
Wild Beaver Amber Lager.
Okay. That's
Nice.
definitely better than water.
Wild Beaver.
That's probably what the water tastes like in Oregon, though.
Yeah, that's true. It's from a local Albany brewery. It's pretty good. This is like
Nice.
number 5 or so today. So
Oh,
Well played. Well
you're
played.
ready for the show.
yeah.
Starting,
What are
starting
you
early.
drinking, Shadow? Aside from scotch.
Well,
You can't talk about the scotch.
you got me there.
Of course. Shadow drinks scotch. That's
It's
like
the
telling me
new,
not to
well,
drink
not
that
new,
beer.
newish Macallan 12, the sherry cask.
Did you finish the gold
just
one?
some normal 12 swill, but I tell you what, for a swill, it's damn good. So,
Nice.
but yeah, we're killing it this week. So I'm getting a lot of work done. But what do you got there? What are you drinking there tonight, Jordan? I saw your fancy glass.
I am in my fancy glass, almost empty. I am finishing off a crust Reizer, something like that.
Holy
Wow.
Flackerstein.
It is a black lager. I've really been enjoying black lagers lately. It's kind of a
Sounds
medium
racist.
body in between a lager and a porter.
I like black lagers. They're pretty good. I mean, anything's better than pumpkin beer.
Oh,
Yes.
shots fired.
Shots fired.
And
Pew,
then
pew.
I do have a fancy
The fancy
Oh,
beer.
nice.
I have the
fancy
beer for
beer.
later. Yes. I love that thing.
Fancy beer.
I break it out for the show.
Very nice.
Very nice. Very nice.
$16 a bottle, just one a week.
It's a worthy investment.
Very nice. So what are you drinking there, Stimmy?
All right.
Yes. What are you drinking, Stem?
I've been a little bit reminiscent of last year when we were at Citizen Con. So I'm drinking some really nice chilled Tito's.
Nice.
So
Very nice.
handmade vodka.
Good choice.
Very nice.
Good choice. Good choice.
It's a good vodka.
Never bad.
Yeah. It makes us think of, times when we were hanging out in person, which was really fun. So
I don't remember a lot of that. Might be better that way.
Quarterback's is saying that you're not centered, Stem, but you look centered to me.
Yeah, there we go. Hey, look at
I
that.
just need to sit
handsome
upright.
fellow. It's a whole nother
Representing
planet there.
Jump Club today.
Oh, I've got the release the best.
Ooh, nice shirt.
It's not release the Kraken. It's release the most well armored transport ship. 'Cause that's probably all I use it for.
I'm wearing an all black Calvin Klein shirt.
Ooh, very nice.
Nice. We are all wearing all black today.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very
Nobody
promotional
died, did they?
Somebody did die.
Black is
Who?
always stylish.
Gert Berliner. But this is
And who's
esoteric, so don't worry about it.
That's pretty esoteric there, yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Moving along.
On to something meaningful.
All right. Well, why don't we jump into the show notes?
Why don't you take us away there, Timmy?
All right. So I'll talk a little bit about what we're going to go over. So we're going to touch on the what happened this week. In fact, I won't reveal it ahead of time because we had a lot of things happen this week. If anybody complains it's a content drought, they are absolutely nuts. So why don't we actually just jump into it? So the first thing we had on Thursday, because we do our shows on a Wednesday, Thursday we got the Concierge Concept pre-sale ship announcement. And that was the, of course, the
Drake Corsair.
Yeah. So
He
here's
says
the
a bill, of
announcement.
course, but he has to read his notes because he doesn't know.
I know what it is. I'm blanking.
he's
It's been a
doing-
busy week, all right?
Hello.
He's doing producery things. Look, we've
That's right.
changed. We've
It's
changed
busy.
to
It's
our
busy.
cinema mode.
Yeah.
Good job.
So this is the email that we got from the Chairman's Club.
Email up.
right, that told us that Drake was doing an early bird sale. And of course, everybody got that on Friday.
Who got it? Who got it? Who didn't?
I got
Who
a
got it
CCU.
in the chat?
Yeah,
Who got it in the chat? And it goes silent.
Not me. That's all I see.
Greg's like, nope, not me.
I got a CCU to it. How about you guys?
Well,
I-
Wolf, you got one. I did not.
Did not. I only did not. And Sig, if you're listening, I only did it because it wasn't symmetrical. And yes, it drives me nuts.
Ooh.
There, I said it. Enough said. Move on.
All right. We spoke a lot about the Corsair last on Saturday. We can talk about it again. Okay. Then we had ATV, of course, which is sort of the meat and potatoes of most of our show. So the great Drake Corsair was announced.
Which I do like. Are we talking about the ship still? We're going to talk about the ship.
You got
Let's
that.
go.
You got
I do
Corsair
like
B-roll.
the modular, the way they put everything like into a central room, or at least tried to. To me, that's logical. I love that design. I really, really, really want to get one, but I just can't stand to look at it. It's like the bastard child. You just
That is
smack.
okay. just hang on until we get the Origin 400 series.
Yeah,
You don't
that's-
smack bastard children. You ignore them and refuse to acknowledge them.
Oh, well, that's what I'm doing then. Wait a minute, I'm just never taking ownership in the first place.
And that's why you have cats.
Yeah,
That's what you do with bastard children.
They're asking Chad. ATV is late Thursday, U.S. time. So whatever country you're in, it's going to be late tomorrow or today if you're already in tomorrow.
Yep. And ATV, if we didn't say it, is around the
Or the
verse.
following day.
Yeah, that part right there where they're looking through that
The
modular
modular
core.
room.
Really neat.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting with the with the component room there, and then a very very sparse crew area. Looks very reminiscent of the Caterpillar crew room, only smaller actually.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
two
I
things
don't know.
too.
Looks like a good ship.
Yeah, two things too is the completely side-facing turrets.
Yeah,
Two
that's a bit
questions.
odd.
One, can they actually fire directly forward?
No,
They
they
So
cannot.
no, they
They
can't.
They have a
missed that.
90 degree angle of fire
see,
from the
Okay.
side.
See, that's going to
Is
be
that
so
is that in a
useless.
full sort of sphere?
You
90
don't
degrees?
need anything else firing forward.
Yeah, it's
And
got a
Yeah,
little
that's
fire.
true.
No, you don't need
Yeah.
it firing
So-
forward.
Well,
But
I'm
it's
just
got
thinking how
so many
often, if you're moving forward, how often is stuff coming directly from the side? That's all.
I know where I park when I shoot a Connie down, and if they had side
Yeah.
turrets, that would be
on the
useful.
side. yeah. Easily.
100%. If you're coming after a Corsair, you're going to come in from the lower rear because there's no
Yep.
coverage.
yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely none.
No, that's interesting.
all about that lower rear. Over
Yeah, I
there.
do wonder
And the
about
other-
those side guns, though. I just, I don't necessarily see going broadside much if you have all that fire to bring down going forward.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
I
really
think those
just
turrets are
a
defensive.
discouragement.
Yeah, those are deterrents.
And,
Deterrent
and-
turrets.
But
Yeah, or-
it
and-
means someone
and
actually
or
has to be on your ship, and you
deterrent?
have to have additional AI crew manning those turrets because they are manned. They're not. You can't put blades
The
on
word
them.
is crude. We're not
Or-
sexist.
crude.
Crude.
Yes.
Crudely
That's
manned.
pretty crude.
It's Drake. It's crude.
Oh my god.
They did say that you could use AI blades for them, so we don't know how
Oh.
many AI blades you can use in the Corsair. I don't know what size computer it.
Mhm.
I think it has two mediums, which is a lot.
I thought.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it
Or
was
maybe it's one
confirmed that
medium.
those.
ship.
I'm pretty sure it's
Was it
confirmed that those
50,
side
55
turrets were actually were manned, and you couldn't use blades unless you can fit another sort of module in the future in there to put blades in them. But those
No,
are
you
not
can-
unmanned turrets.
You can take crude turrets and make them automated with the blade system. At least that's what they said.
Okay.
Yeah, that'll be
Yes.
really exciting to see when that comes out.
Yeah.
The last bit is it does look like the 3-wing shuttle from that I really liked, especially when the wings are folded up
Star-
from
Star Wars: The Old Republic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally would have bought it if it wasn't ugly. Moving right along.
All right.
I think it turned out fine.
I think it's a very very cool ship for Drake. I refuse to own Drake ships.
Oh, just
Yeah,
outright?
that's a cutlass.
Not only, do you?
You put your foot down? No Drake ships?
I have not.
Wow.
I own a Dragonfly, and that is it.
I have to look now.
I thought you had a cutlass. I have all of them.
I turned the Cutlass into something else. I had it for a while.
I had one for a while
it was,
too.
Use it for the-
I know
It was
that
handy.
sucker.
For the CCU growth,
It was handy.
the
Mhm.
expected
I think I
CCU
turned
growth that never
the
happened.
Cutlass into a Max, actually.
Oh, well,
It's a good
It's a
choice.
worthy update.
yeah, I'd get behind that.
Worthy update.
The lower rear of that.
Yar. Okay, so should we step
But
into?
it does have a lot of
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, I do have a Buccaneer.
Ah,
Yeah, how
that's a
long
good
that
tip.
lasts. Well, yeah, I just like the big monster gun that sits on top of it.
Yeah, it's small and carries a big punch. It punches above its weight class.
As long as nobody gets a shot on you.
as long as nobody hits you with a size 1 pop gun.
Yeah, as long as you avoid getting shot, it's groovy.
Area 18,
so-
my favorite thing.
So
Right,
it was actually really cool to see this in the ATV, and then we
Mm.
just got it in a few days later. So many of us have been in the PTU a lot, running around here in this area, and actually experienced it firsthand. And it is freaking gorgeous what they've done. And
It
the
was-
holograms and lighting is amazing.
It was better in ETF without all you schmoes because I was getting like 40 FPS in the Area 18. Now I'm getting like 7.
You can't say that. That's NDA.
I think Crunch said he was getting 40 FPS earlier.
No, I thought he said in Hurston.
Well, the fix last night, wasn't that supposed to fix a lot of that?
No, it was the
Yeah.
first PTU patch. It fixed the female HUDs, which females didn't have HUDs, and
The 30K. They fixed the 30K or two.
now actually 30Ks are almost worse right now. I think. No, I've only been in once, but
I haven't been in since the
last
update,
night's
so.
patch we had a lot of 30Ks. They did fix the taking off from the Area 18 hangars because we couldn't before, so now we can. Crunch said that he was getting 40 FPS in the halves and 25 in the gear sphere area there. We're looking at.
The gear sphere.
Gear sphere. That's not really a gear sphere. I'm gonna build that one day. Mark my
Yeah.
words. It's cool. Theoretically, it should work, right?
But there's all sorts of little corridors and side alleys.
It's a huge area.
Stores.
I'm still getting lost in there. Trying
It's
to find
much
my way.
better than it used to be.
So the real question is Jordan, how many hours did you spend on trams and trains in the last week?
Well, altogether, I don't think I could answer that, but I know that at least yes. What is today? Tuesday? Wednesday?
Today's Wednesday.
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 God,
All day.
I have lost track of time. On Sunday, I think I spent about 45 minutes in just straight, just sitting on the tram, just riding back and forth for 45 minutes. Just riding back and forth and just looking all different angles and taking screenshots and videos and
Probably never saw the same thing twice.
Yeah, see, somebody doesn't have
there's
ADD.
so much. There's so much, and then several times I just stood in the bridge between that went over that big canyon on the way to
The shuttle
Astro
game?
Armada. Yeah, where the shuttle goes right overhead. That's just amazing. It's absolutely amazing. Actually, I put up a B-roll of that further down. So if you click on the Saturday Fifth Element shuttle loop B-roll.
Ooh,
Okay.
yes. Did see that.
Find it.
This is pretty.
Third, that's
I just
after our quick-
stood there. I don't know how long. Mystic and I were there taking pictures and videos and from every different angle, and I got really good at like pulling my camera way back to get like these big panoramic shots. And now the next one that's the
That's the
Arc
next
Corp
one.
cinematic.
Okay,
The next one
yeah.
down.
There we go.
The Fifth Element shuttle loop.
Oh,
This
beautiful.
one.
I see where Fifth Element comes into it.
Yeah, 100%. And with those the shuttle going back and forth.
Yeah. That's really pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little accelerated, so I cut it all the space in between. But yeah, so I
That
got a
one
couple
right there.
couple of different views.
Yeah.
This was cool because I was in this camera view, and then all of a sudden I looked up and there was a shuttle at my face. It's like, wow, that's cool.
That's beautiful.
I like this one a little more panned around cinematic. So Fifth Element.
That is very cool.
All right. We have a question that came in from the site. It happened to be about the Corsair, so I figured I'd bring it up. So the question is, how long do you think the Corsair will be until it's flight ready? Since Drake is
2021.
streamlined.
Next question.
I think probably next year, because I mean it's got to go into the pipeline after other things. I mean there's a lot of ships in the pipeline now, and there's no need to rush it.
2021.
And they should be able to build it fairly quickly. I think sometime next year.
They do have a
I
lot
would
of
agree with
Drake
that.
parts, but 2021.
Okay. Should we jump into? So we looked at ArtCorp before. What's this here, Jordan? You want to tell us about it?
So this was the concession stand. So they were
yes.
showing how they're building all the different little concession stands and going into detail. And if you've seen them in the verse, I mean, they are pretty cool. But what this brings back to the only concern that I have about Star Citizen from a timeline standpoint is watching them build things like this and the habs and populate all those little things and create the stage dressings of all those little set pieces, that it's very time consuming. So on every one of these little stands in a hero area, and if it takes them a few hours to build, and you start multiplying that by the number of different pieces that they have to have, and the number of cities, and the number of planets, and all the other things, I mean that's the thing that seems to take the most time to build out the environment. So I'm really looking forward to seeing them developing tools that allow them to do these things faster and
More
create
repetitive. Yeah, quickly.
yeah, and but also have the variety so it doesn't seem repetitive. So like if you're in the spaceport right now, a lot of the elements are the same elements that we have in the Lorville spaceport, but redesigned, retextured. So, and it feels very different, but you can see the basic sets and construction pieces are similar. So, I mean, as we build out hundreds of planets, and it's going to be interesting to see how fast they can do it, how much variety, and I know that they're working on Microtech, which has an entirely different art set.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's really where it gets interesting. Is like they're able to do ArtCorp repetitively very well and dynamically, but then what happens when you move to another planet? It's a totally different art set. Hopefully, a lot of that carries forward. I mean, probably like terrain generation and things like that, I would imagine. But I mean, there's no terrain on 18, so ArtCorp. So it's like, I wonder how they're gonna really carry some of that forward. But very cool looking.
Terrain's actually one of the things that they've got probably the best developed procedural standpoint. I'm more concerned about actual cities like this. So, and we've got Area 18 on a planet that's covered by a city, and it's very well done, because I actually got to fly over a little bit more. I spent a lot of time flying over it in the first patch where we couldn't actually land at the spaceport, and just flying around the cities. And they really have created a lot of variety in the buildings and the way that the buildings populate the surface. And I did a little bit of math that the planet seems to be about 1,500 kilometers in diameter, and that's 7 million square kilometers, which is just mind-boggling in scale. It's 7 million.
In space games terms, yeah. Those are a bunch of us together.
There's no other game that's created that kind of scale.
No,
and
I
can't wait to spend more time actually just flying over the surface.
Well, even just now, it's like it's already we're dealing with one system and a couple of planets, and it already feels massive.
It is massive. It is massive. I mean, it's 40 million kilometers from Olisar to Darkwarp. 42 million kilometers, and
good sound.
What do you think? What do you guys think about the judgment that that ArtCorp is a little bit more sort of ruddy orange color than people like?
I like the coloring.
I like it.
I think it's pretty good. It's a very different building set than they had in the 2017 CitizenCon walkthrough. So I mean, it's changed in
I don't think it is. I
design
don't think
quite a
it's
bit.
different, but
No,
I think that they
if
both look good.
Oh no, it looks spectacular, but and if you look at the actual buildings, they're very vertical and smooth, with different shapes on a silhouette footprint. So that was one of the things that a lot of people were complaining about when they first saw it, before they saw all these holograms just really create the life. But the buildings themselves are less complex in the shape language.
Agreed.
Heavy Bob says there's too many hot dog stands. I think there's only like
Yeah,
there's
There's a lot of hot dogs.
No,
Must be American.
There's two. There's one down a back alley, and then there's one on the lower bridge.
Yeah,
down near Dumpers Depot.
That's right.
So we done with
how
the
many people in the chat found the turtle?
Oh, right.
There are lots of
The
turtles.
turtle. Oh, there are. There's more than one.
Actually,
Yeah.
and they are tortoises.
Oh,
Yes.
Oh,
Calling
sorry.
them turtles.
Yeah.
We are calling them turtles, even though they're tortoises.
Well, let's not
That's a
be
common
politically incorrect or
misnomer.
anything.
I know, exactly. Call it tortoise a tortoise, god damn it.
Oh yeah, they are little terrapins. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lark's got it right. They're little
Terps.
terrapins.
Yeah.
That's
Hey, Lark,
what we
welcome
should
to the chat.
officially call them. Yeah, welcome. That's what we should totally call them, little terrapins.
So Wolfie
No,
says,
but I mean, I
Wolfie
love
says
that
they're
little
effing
piece,
Xi'an spies.
right? You know what's going to happen though? There's going to be a piece of
They
lore
are.
that spins up out
They
of that,
are.
and it's going to be awesome. Because I mean, so those like the little things, like as we're getting, like all of us that are in it right now, getting into the game, it's like, holy crap, what's this little? You know what I mean? You're like, this is neat. You know, I found the tortoise, and then people who join like a year later, they're gonna have no freaking clue. But that's going to be the awesome part about it.
Yeah, it'll be a meme, and they won't know what's going on.
Well, some people have been saying that they're Xi'an spies.
No, they're ambassadors.
They are.
They're
I like
ambassadors.
the meme that they put a monocle on it and a top hat.
And
And
the
said,
hat,
Ambassador Turtle something or another.
Yep.
So we have a question in chat.
Spectre and
Let's do a quick question in chat. So this is from Wolfie, and he quite aptly says that the turtles are Xi'an spies, so we can't trust them. So watch out.
but he's a xenophobe, so don't worry about what he says.
Well, it's a good question. He says, does Area 18 have more of a cyberpunk or a Blade Runner inspired design? In our opinion,
I think it's both.
They took a lot of cues from all of them. I think.
I think
see
Joe
either.
nailed it
Yeah.
with the Fifth Element thing.
Yeah.
That
It's
stand right
close
there,
to
I
the
think
Fifth
it is.
Element, but Fifth Element still has more organic city feel to it. This is its
Yeah.
own feeling. To me.
I think it pulls from that feeling that we have from all of these future cities that we've seen, from Blade Runner, from Fifth Element, from Coruscant. Any of these future cities, it's got that same feel of just like a massive, super huge city with these deep canyons and no real extra space in them. And these buildings are literally like 1,000 to 1,500 meters tall. It's a kilometer to a kilometer and a half tall, which is just it's incredible. And I managed to take off earlier, just before the show. I got a 300 out and managed to go land on a pad on top of one of the buildings, and it was a
that video you
phenomenal
shot from the
experience.
top was really neat.
Yeah.
Very, very, very cool. So a couple of people were talking in chat. Spectre and Quartermass were talking about the hero areas, like Area 18 that we have, and whether or not there's supposed to be more of them on our corp, and there are supposed to be more. But the question is, how much time are they going to devote to creating more of those areas and creating the new areas that we have to go to, like Crusader City, Microtech City there, plus also going back to Hurston, where they're supposed to go back and create other areas there as well. So this is where this exponential increase in the amount of environments that have to be handcrafted for these hero areas and the amount of time that it takes for them, that's the really daunting thing, and that's the only thing that really kind of concerns me of that timeline, the manpower involved, for the number of environmental artists, and how soon that Chris Roberts wants to go to a live, persistent, non-resetting universe.
Yeah, I'm really looking
We're all
forward to that.
complaining about it in chat. If you guys are missing this is really funny. We're all alcoholics, so
Apparently,
we're,
for
professional
for
drinkers.
2
That's what we're
hours,
calling it.
2 hours every
Very
week,
true.
And then-
Full-time
and
alcoholic.
and another 2 hours on Saturdays now. You know, where we do our stream. We should talk about that a little bit. So, if you weren't able to join us, we decided to add
You
a
missed
second
a show.
Day a week.
You missed something.
Yeah, something. I missed something.
You're missing something.
I still miss it. I still haven't watched it, but I'm sure it's amusing.
Yeah.
Turns out I was there.
You were there.
Go ahead, Chip. Sorry.
So what we did is we tried to get together in the verse and do a 50 player server takeover and cruise around in the verse with drinks in hand and do a party ship with the 600i cruising around. And it was the same day on Saturday when we got the 3.5 PTU drop. And so things were kind of jumbled, trying to make it work. And then my computer decided that its capture card was done. So it ended up being a really fun chat. We spoke about the Drake Corsair. We spoke about a few things. So if you heard us talking about doing something on Saturday, that's what happened. We ended up having a 2-hour show then. And so,
And drinking a lot.
and yeah, and proving that alcoholism is a thing.
Oh, it is. I felt nothing.
Alcoholism is a religion. It's
I
not
You
just get a lot of
remember the
questions
show.
about how they feel the next morning. I
This
said,
is what we do in the yacht club.
Yeah.
When we're off
It's
our
like
yachts.
Sikhism. It's an ism.
Yeah. But really, when you're out boating, you need to drink responsibly and not drink, actually. When you're boating, you're not supposed to do that.
Don't
Yeah.
boat and drive.
Drinking in the
Wait, I mean,
verse
don't
is
drink and boat.
Don't drink
Don't
and boat.
drink and
yacht.
drive a boat.
good thing.
Fuck, I can't talk.
I'm
Don't
actually in
drink
the
in yacht.
process of
Yeah.
of
No, you're
getting
supposed to
my...
drink in yacht. Because
Actually,
where yacht, you have your own crew.
Somebody
I have a
else's one.
Eel crew.
Don't drink in yacht.
You
It's
have a
not good.
crew. Then they do their work while you drink in yacht.
Always hydrate in the verse. Amen, T.
All right. We on for the next section?
What's next? Yes.
Next.
Sure.
Okay, so then Friday came along. That's Thursday. Friday came along and we had newsletters. And so we got the weekly newsletter. Switch back to that mode. We got the weekly newsletter where they basically spoke about what's happening. 3.0 or 3.5 was coming along nicely. We were getting excited to get it on Friday. We had a roadmap update. And then, of course, we did Reverse the Verse, where they spoke a
I
lot
missed the
more about
roadmap
the
a
Drake
bit. Was there
Corsair.
anything alarming
No.
or cool?
Not really.
No.
No,
Okay.
basically, they were just showing that they were very far along on 3.5.
Moving
Yep.
along.
So,
Oh, and that the 890s push 3.7.
ha ha ha.
And the crowd goes wild.
Riot,
Wah,
dumpster fire.
Speaking of one thing they did say that we missed about ATV was about the 300i variants not making it into 3.5.
Yes.
The colorization
That's
part,
true.
I thought, right? Was it?
No, the variants themselves aren't going to make
Nope.
it either,
Yeah.
but they'll make it in 3.5.1 or 2.
Yeah.
0.1, 0.2.
Which will be soon.
That's fine.
Which will be soon.
So,
Just
yeah, it's not going to be
something
like
to do.
pushed to 3.6.
However, you can walk around inside all of them in the hangar.
Yep.
And
Which
They
they,
are
do look
spectacular.
amazing. I mean,
Mhm.
I actually
they-
have not loaded up the hangar in forever. I should do that.
So
No, the
then-
350 looked really good.
very, very,
I'm glad
very,
it still
very
has a
sexy.
bed.
to unmelt that.
Saturday came
350
around.
still has a bed. That's important.
Saturday
Good
came
Saturday's
around
a bad one.
and we did our first attempt at a community gameplay stream, as I'd mentioned before, which was a total fail, but we still had a good time regardless.
We
It
had
wasn't a
good
total
time.
fail.
Yeah,
We
so
No, we recovered. We got the show going.
Yeah.
It was a good time.
We-
Good times had by all.
we had a good time.
You
because
were a total fail, but we as general weren't.
Let's try not to use we so much.
we talked about Star Citizen and spaceships, and we drank a lot, and it was a good time.
Yep.
Let's go with that.
Totally
so,
agreed.
so this cinematic came out, I think, on Sunday, and it was just incredible. I mean, this was the first really beautiful cinematic that a citizen a backer has done, and I can't wait to see more because I mean it already looks so good.
It's gorgeous.
It gives you the scale. It's really just awesome. Love the scale.
Yeah, and the variety in the buildings. I mean, and so you see what I was talking about with that kind of smooth verticality, and they're very
Yeah.
smooth and vertical. Whereas in the old ArtCorp, there was a lot of different horizontal shapes, and there's a lot of more architectural movement in the buildings. So they've kind of simplified them, but when you're down in it, and even just like looking at that, I mean, there's still a tremendous amount of variety, and they've managed to make this seem very random and unique across 7 million square kilometers, which just
And
blows my mind.
And they still have
Yeah.
a lot of work to do in that way. There's still a lot of improvements they've got to do. And one of the biggest complaints about ArtCorp that I've seen is that you've got a lot of horizontal smoothness, just like you're seeing in this part here. So, I mean, right now to save on, I like it too. It's
Yeah.
got that Blade Runner feel,
There's
but
not that many horizontal areas like
And
that.
it breaks up the monotony of the vertical smooth.
If you
most of
look at that, I mean, it almost looks
most
like a
of the
giant
planet
ship
outside
landed. I
of
think
Area
it's-
18 is this smooth sort of area. You know, you're seeing a lot of smooth plates.
Mm.
So, you know, I think that they're going to improve that. I think we're going to get more textures both on the vertical as well as the horizontal smoothness.
So there's different areas in the city. So, and they talked about this when they were building it in 2017. They were talking about how, okay, well, you're going to have the more densely populated areas, which have like the residential and offices, which is Area 18, and those are the very vertical structures. And then you have those lower areas across the space between like Area 18 and Area 17, and those are the lower, flatter factory buildings. So whenever you fly over factory buildings and warehouses, they are very horizontal and flat. So
Mhm.
it makes total sense from an architectural standpoint.
Mhm.
Right.
I think the people that are complaining about that are just
Nothing else to complain about.
I just like to
uneducated.
complain. No, they just like to
I don't
complain.
Well, yeah, there's that too.
You can't call them uneducated.
No, the one shot that I really like was the guy who was up on looked like a crane or some sort of like cross T structure, and he
Oh,
walked all the way out to
yeah.
the end. And
That
then did like
was- that was
that looked really cool.
That was incredible. That was on a tweet. And,
That
that
and
was amazing.
that shot and the shot you keep showing, Jordan, where the 300 or 600s going through that like animated sign along the one really tall building. You know, it's like whoosh, it's like a peak and
Oh, the one with the dragons.
yes, that I think between those two shots, I think those are the best two so far.
Yeah, I'll post that
Oh, that's a great shot right there.
into.
The sun going down.
Um,
That's very cool.
I'm gonna post that link just direct right in.
Oh, there it is. There they are.
Below
There's the dragons.
below Fifth
It's
Element.
probably
Yeah.
a little delayed, but
Was that actually in the game, or was that somebody adding that as an effect?
No, it's actually there.
That's
It's
gorgeous.
it's a hologram that
Yeah.
goes around these buildings.
Yeah,
And
it's actually there.
It's in a couple of different places. I just posted another link in the document there right below the Fifth Element shuttle loop.
Okay.
That was a little gift that I made as I was flying around in my 600 before I could land.
there it is. That's super cool.
So you should be able to make, if you hover over the lower area, I think there's a thing to make it full screen.
Yeah, that won't work.
You get the point. If you want to see it, go to see Jordan's Twitter. Actually, we should have that on ours. We need to start posting
My
stuff.
my
But yeah,
That's gorgeous.
my huge gift collection.
it really is. Nothing wrong with that.
But
Goes along with
yeah,
your huge picture collection.
You're the archivist. Sherry
but yeah, that was
Heisenberg,
that was fun.
stand aside.
So I was trying to fly around the buildings, but the 600 is not super maneuverable.
Yeah, she's a
So-
bit of a cow.
It's
Well,
You're
I
talking
know
about the
that-
600,
like,
right?
keep shifting it sideways, and it's like not doing what I wanted to do.
yeah. So then as I was kind of losing control, I figured like, oh, I'm gonna do a spin, and then I did
there
a
you
spin,
go.
and then right after I cut this off, I smashed into a building.
You made it look good though. Nobody, you
Nobody
should've-
would've known
you should've
any
left
better.
that part out.
Yeah, it's like right there, kind of nosing down.
Yeah, yeah. I was wondering what happened after that. I
Okay.
rolled the 600 in
So did
atmosphere
anyone
as
check
well.
the flight model on the 300 coming in to our corp, or is it gone from going?
Depends on the server.
It's still
They're working on it.
a lot of turbulence. Plus, also somebody posted in the jump club this morning. Somebody pulled out all the acceleration values from all the ships, and where most of the ships have acceleration values between like 6 to 10 Gs, the 300i went from 9 point something in the previous patch to 1.8. So in the current patch, the 300 series has no acceleration. It moves forward, but not like it should. So looking forward to getting that fixed in the next patch. But it was a lot of fun. I managed to take off from ArcCorp from Area 18 earlier, right before the show, like I was saying, and just fly through the buildings in the 300, and it was great, even without any acceleration.
Oh yeah,
Great.
yeah, it looks gorgeous.
So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Then we don't have them to show, but there are a bunch of leaks about the 300 series with the color customizations, which looked really good.
I don't think that was a leak.
No,
No?
those were backer
made.
photoshops.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We got fooled.
Yes.
Fool me
No,
once.
you got
Fool me once.
Fool again.
All right, should we move on to Monday?
Let's
Do what
do it.
happened on Monday?
Sure.
VIP gala announcement. Aegis
Yeah.
Dynamics. Yes.
So this
Who's
week-
going?
I'm not going.
No, I'm not going this year.
The only way I would go is I would go for that and then just stay through CitizenCon, which I'm pretty sure my cats wouldn't like that very much.
Yeah, that would be a long time.
I don't think they would
That'd
approve
be a
that
long
vacation
time in
request.
Germany.
Yeah, from August to late October, early November.
Plus, CitizenCon's going to be in England this year, so.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a
So,
channel ticket. No,
basically
but the announcement. All
moved.
right, so we taking bets?
What are we
On
taking
what it
bets on?
is? Oh,
What
I like
it
that
is?
idea.
Aegis battle cruiser.
No, it's probably a heavy fighter.
Seems,
anything.
It seems a lot of people think it's a Titan suit.
I would assume
pretty
that it's
big-
a Connie competitor because they've been working on those this year. So
Well, how many
I
are
wouldn't be.
there?
I
I don't
would be
know.
surprised. Yeah, maybe something in that
Speculation in
middle
the chat? Anyone?
I think it's
Anyone
going to
in
be
the chat?
big.
Come on,
If
rattle
it's
off.
going to
What do
be
we
a
think it is?
VIP gala event and they're having people fly in for a full day of ultra exclusive,
Wheelchair.
drinks and food and fruitful cooperation. I think that there's
Yeah, I don't
probably
think-
going to
I
be.
agree.
I think there's going to be something big.
I agree.
Well, they did it last year in LA, and there was nothing big with it. So
Yeah,
I
Yeah,
think
but
you
we don't
guys are
talk
getting your
about
hopes
LA.
up.
We don't talk
Yeah.
about LA.
'Cause, I mean, I'm just basing this on what they've done in the past, and this is probably going to cost $350 a ticket, and it's probably not going to have some big ticket item exclusive. They might show you pictures of something that's coming, make you sign an NDA, and then pop it out. But I wouldn't assume
think
this is going
Doc's
to be
a
some.
skeptic.
But I think
Yeah.
they're probably going to
I
do
think
some
you're right.
workshops
You know,
and try and
It
find to
could be a
get
number of things.
feedback from
Either
the
way,
VIP
it's exciting, but the
community.
really bad part is it's way out there in August. So
Yeah.
I guess we'll
Yeah,
probably talk about this over the coming weeks.
Well, I think it's good that they're having something over there, because
Yeah.
the last big event in LA, it wasn't really convenient to the folks in the EU. So now the EU guys
Yeah.
have guys and
A
gals
chance.
have an event out there,
Yeah.
and it gives them something to have in concert with Gamescom, since they're not
Yeah.
having a booth at Gamescom again.
Mhm.
And for a lot of people that are going to Gamescom that want to have a CIG event, they'll get to do something outside, which they did last year, and it was it seemed like it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I think in another couple months we'll really start talking about this again because I think it'll be a little bit more meat to go on. But
I don't know. They hold these things pretty close to the chest. And
Yep.
most of these reveals have been pretty surprising, except for the Kraken. Pretty much everybody saw the
yeah,
Kraken.
that was Kraken was pretty not. Yeah, release the Kraken.
I was
Yeah, we can
surprised.
mention
I was surprised about the Kraken.
it. You're surprised you get up every morning. I don't hear. I am too, actually.
I don't get up in the morning, so
Yeah, that's true.
You're a night owl.
Trying to avoid mornings.
Well, your morning or everybody else's afternoon.
yeah. Like,
All right.
Whatever.
I have a problem.
Then
I
we
know
have
I
the
ran out too.
Lore
Saturday.
post.
You have
Oh.
more.
Remedy.
Intermission. Everybody's run out of scotch.
Uh-oh.
Wait, nope. No. We haven't run out. It's just a glass that needs some love. There.
I ran out of beer. I only had a
Refill.
6-pack and I drank it all.
Well, it was the show, last show or the show before. Not
Earlier.
the show where I drank almost a whole bottle of scotch. The one before it, I was doing those Basil Haydens, and I just started pouring Basil Haydens directly in because I couldn't make a Manhattan. Anyway,
I did
back
not
to the
read the lore.
show. I didn't either. This was one of the big 4-part ones, and
I
missed
read the first two
very one.
parts. I missed
lot of
the
people-
third part.
A lot of people said it was a really good lore post that I talked to. So
We'll talk
gonna
about this
have to
next
go through
week.
and read that at some point.
Yeah.
We never talk about the lore post next week.
Well, no, we always got so much to talk about. It's
We-
like we
sometimes
talked about this
We talked about a lore post once.
We did.
once,
when two of us read it.
once. Well, we're lucky when they're doing Lore Maker's Guide.
I don't remember what that was.
We'd have
Well,
been really screwed. They're doing
today-
one every week.
Yeah, it's,
Today we got
it's
an
hard to keep.
announcement.
It's hard to keep up with everything. I mean, there's so much stuff going on. We got 3.5, and every spare moment at home is in 3.5.
Yeah.
Dragar, you and I are going to start reading. Dragar is
definitely
actually
doing that.
him and I. We're going to start reading the lore, and we're comment on every week.
There you go. All right.
No
so,
problem. He probably
Okay.
didn't even listen.
So here's the
He's like,
big,
"What are you doing?"
Here's
The
the
big
big
news
news
of
of the
this
day. Of the day, at least.
of today.
Mm.
Yes, that was today.
All right, count them up. How many are there?
Okay, so just to clarify what's going on is $0 CCUs that have been around since pretty much the beginning of Star Citizen are going away.
The
Well,
CCU system.
Since the CCU system came into play. They're going to be...
later than the beginning.
Okay, it started some time ago, all right? And then now it's still going. And back in 2017, they had said they were going to get rid of it. And we've been waiting for it to go, and it hasn't gone yet. But now they're announcing that it's going to be going. So on April 3rd, there will be no more $0 CCUs
Okay, so
available.
let's explain
even
to
though I don't think
everyone what a
anything
$0
are available
CCU
now.
is.
Hold on.
Because
And
up
then-
until about 3 hours
Shush!
ago, I didn't.
Shush!
really
I'll mute
understand.
you. And then on May 1st, that's when they're going
Already
away for
can't.
good. For good. Okay, now Shadow, go ahead. Oh, I totally can. I have the
No,
power.
I just want to say, like, because I heard 3 different descriptions. I never really thought about because I never had a $0. Well, actually, I had 2, but
Right.
Let's explain what a $0 CCU is.
Dr.
For
Murray,
those who are
go
not
ahead.
familiar with the fleet
Mhm.
shuffling program, who wants to
It's-
take that one on, Doc?
It's a CCU that costs $0.
So it's basically
Well, that was descriptive.
it's a CCU upgrade
pretty
from one ship of
admirable.
the same price to another ship of the
And-
same price.
Oh, okay, so
Right.
so here's a TLDR of the $0 CCU controversy. So
Oh.
especially every year at the anniversary sale, when limited ships come up for sale and people want to buy a bunch of them, but they don't have enough money to buy all of them. So an example, 2016, I wanted to get several Banner Merchantmen, and I did not have $1,000 to buy 4 of them. So I got a $0 upgrade from a Redeemer, which I did not own, but I could buy at some point in time in the future if it was going to be for sale. And that goes for anything like a Connie or whatever ship that you want to upgrade to something else. With $0, you don't have to own it, but you can buy the CCU.
And that's
And
when
so I got
both of those ships were 250. Of course, now the BMM is 350.
exactly, which makes it even more valuable because that $0 CCU is worth $100.
Right.
If you actually activate it. So, and this is one of the reasons that
Yeah,
people
so
think
it's-
oh my God, they're taking away my potential $100 if I bought the $250 ship and activated it, which a lot of people are not going to do because they've already done it. Like I've done it 2 times for myself. So I own 2 Banner Merchantmen. I helped a buddy out in another Discord, so got him a Banner Merchantman, and I have one more $0 $250 Banner Merchantman CCU, which I am probably just going to let go away. And I think I have maybe 2 others that I thought, maybe I'd get this ship or maybe I'd get that ship, and I never got around to it. But a lot of people have dozens, hundreds. I know some people
Thousands.
that have thousands, and
Yeah.
those are the people that really kind of screwed up the system. Plus, also, it's the number one fodder for the gray market. So
Yeah.
these gray market sellers have all these CCUs, and so they say, okay, well, I can sell a Banner Merchantman for $350, which is what they're going for now, but I can go and get one for $250. So this is going on a lot, and
Yep.
and that's finally going to make the gray market go away.
It's not going to make the gray market go away.
Well, it'll.
Well, no, I mean
It'll hurt them very
it's-
little.
I
And-
think it's going to reduce it significantly because it's a large part of what the gray market operates on.
Most of the people that use the $0 CCUs are just trying to undersell. So they're selling ships for cheaper than CIG sells them by making them cheaper than the cost.
That's some of
So
them.
that's what most of them I've seen. And those people are just going to have less time now. They're going to have to create them now in the next month for their
So-
backlog of stock. So there'll still be plenty.
But they would have to outlay actual cash to get
Yeah.
those,
Right.
which not everybody's going to do.
Right, and that's
Right.
And
that's the difference of them.
Yeah,
Right.
and they're still going to have their melted ships with which they can unmelt, but no, the $0 CCUs aren't going to be able to fuel the gray market as much as they have.
Yeah.
So there's a question
And
that
I think
came
it's
in
very
from
limited to
YouTube.
the people that do use them on the gray market anyways, because they've turned off how we could buy $0 CCUs in 2017.
But most
So
people
you
bought
couldn't
those
buy
years
them for
ago.
concepts anymore. Yeah,
Hey,
no, I know.
These guys bought thousands of them back in 2015, 2016, 2017.
You should just
And
limit how many you can get in the first
they've
place.
got-
but-
Yeah.
Well, they-
These
well,
are
they
the
did.
people that have
They
ruined
stopped
it for everyone else. Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
100%,
Aw.
100%. A few people that have spoiled it for everybody else, and it's going away. So it's not a big deal, except for some people that like to bitch.
There's the real Jordan we know.
Yeah.
No,
So
also there's a new update. There's a new update out, so I don't know. If
New PTU update as
Thank
soon
you,
as we get off.
Crunch,
So we're
for that
not
one.
running late today.
Nice.
Yep.
So there's a question that came in from YouTube. Basically, this is Mario Lara that asked, do any $0 CCUs even exist in the store anymore?
Yes.
No,
Yes,
they're not.
they do.
They're not supposed to.
No,
said
they're
to
going
get
to
rid
take
of all of them.
they're going to take those away on the 3rd of April, the ones that exist.
Yeah.
But you can only get a $0 CCU from a ship that is flyable to a ship that is flyable. Aside from that, they don't exist. You can't buy a $0 CCU from a ship that's in
That's how they're
concept
reduced.
Good
Okay.
point.
or to a ship that's in concept.
Good
But
point.
so they had said that they were taking those away last year, I think, but maybe that was from flyable
What
to
the-
not flyable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what they did last year was
Okay.
they stopped you from being able to buy $0 CCUs to concepts
The concept.
and
Okay.
buy from concepts. So
Oh,
this,
that's right.
on
Yeah.
the 3rd, we're going to take away the rest of the $0 CCUs, which is fine with me.
I think it's good. Yeah, I think they
Yeah,
should.
it's good.
Let's clean it up. Let's get it right. I mean, it's really neat that they had it in the first place, just because of people figuring out. No, so the third point, and why I said I wanted to explain it was that there's ways that this is the evil way of doing it, but you buy a ship now that's worth X, and then suddenly in the future it's worth more, and then now you've got the ability to CCU something that wasn't the same price, and you make
Right.
money. So that's
Oh.
and that's the reason why I'm glad they're going.
Because of the gray
Yeah,
market?
No, the discounted chips. So
Ah.
some people use CCU chains from discounted chips that have gone up in price, and I've seen it done in the Jump Club many times where they'll use
Oh
like
yeah.
3 CCUs from some base ship to like an Aquila, which it went up whatever it went up, and then to something else, and then something else, and they'll save like $200 or $300, and they'll buy like the Polaris. I've seen people that said it's like, oh, I got a Polaris for $400 or something like that. It's like,
Something
What
like that, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
It's like just
It's hard
Just
to believe, but
silly stuff. It's like it's bullshit.
Well, they gave us lots of warning for it, and it's gone well past the time they said it was going
Yes,
to be
they
when they
did.
take it away. So that's great.
Yes, they did.
So no more whinging
Yeah.
and complaining.
Hmm.
All right.
Good one.
onwards. Next topic.
Okay, so
Next
then
topic.
I got, funnily enough, today my invitation to join the PTU. The PTU.
Yeah, even though I
was
already
out.
have mine, I got mine too.
was-
It happened
That was the
Saturday.
wave.
Wait a minute.
That was the Wave 2
So-
announcement, guys.
Okay.
Oh,
That
okay.
was
Oh,
for
okay.
everybody.
Hmm.
Well,
Huh.
but that was
So is
but that
everyone
was
in?
saying Evocati concierge and subscribers, which everybody already has.
Yeah, which
of
doesn't
last
make
Right.
sense. right?
It made a lot of people think that it was going open, which it wasn't. What I think is that the people that haven't been following and aren't paying attention, like all of us here, a large part of the backers, they sent an email out and said, "Hey, if you're a concierge or a subscriber, you can get in ArcCorp now in the PTU." So I think they were trying to bring more people into the PTU to add more stress testing for the people that are not following, because as many of us as there are and as vocal as we are, we're still a minority of the actual backer community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Jump cut?
Yeah.
Or us, 4 of us.
The
All
4
right.
of us.
4 of us. Nobody follows but us.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure that's true.
That brings
Anyway.
us up to date on the week's news. So should we jump into some questions?
I like the sound of that.
We have
All
questions?
right.
What were we
Yeah,
doing?
we got a bunch
Ship
of
the week?
questions. So we could do ship of the week if we want to. Do we have a ship of the week?
300.
Well, let's
We
jump
kinda
into
spoke
questions.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
let's
We
do
spoke at
questions.
300
I agree.
on Saturday as well.
We had a blast
Okay.
with questions last time. We talked about this. We actually really love the
Questions are
community
good.
interaction that we're having. So please, we had
Yeah,
a great
keep it
show.
coming. It's
Not Saturday, but the last Wednesday. We had a really good show with the community. So you guys fire them off. Let's go.
And Saturday was good too, I think. Okay, so this
love
one's
Saturday.
topical. Can the
I
panel
don't
provide
remember
5
Saturday.
pros and yeah, you don't remember it at all.
I know I had fun. Anyway, go ahead.
we had the
Those of us
best
that were there Saturday,
interaction with our
not surprised.
Twitch stream, even the YouTube stream that we've had on any Wednesday. It's been fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it has been.
First question. This one comes from Astrojack from the website. Can the panel provide 5 pros and 5 cons pertaining to the gray market? So why don't we just speak generally about pros and cons of the gray market?
Sure. And do we want to start with Dr. Murray?
Go for it, Doctor.
I'm not going to give 5
being
and 5, but
voluntold.
I'll give a couple.
Yeah. if you-
So like for pros, it can help you get a ship that you really want with LTI if that's what you want. You can sometimes get them for cheaper than you can get them from CIG, which
Yep.
is a pro. And
Big sometime.
A con is that you're not backing the game and supporting the game. as
no,
well
the
as
money
you
is
could
still
be.
going to
Well,
CIG.
yeah,
it's
CIG.
ultimately going there, but yeah, I agree.
So, but I mean, a con would be someone could screw you over. You get ripped off.
True.
They could
If it's not a
wait till you
marketable,
pay them and then not give it to them. It's
reputable
not
seller.
backed. It's not supported by CIG in any way, shape, or form. So if someone screws you over, you can't complain to them and get it resolved. You're just shit out of luck.
And they
Yeah,
could
I
gift
think
that ship and then later take it back, right?
Right, which can happen as well. People
That's
have had
through a
that happen.
PayPal transaction.
Yeah, that typically happens more on like the eBay transactions. So there,
Yeah.
there's several venues for the gray market. There's Reddit, and there's verified users on there, which are major dealers, and these guys are all legatus because they've sold tens of thousands of ships, and
Yeah.
they tend to be pretty reputable. eBay is not reputable. You never know what you're getting, who you're dealing with. The most negative stories I've heard were from eBay purchases.
There you go.
Sorry.
And where,
Good.
Keep going. Keep going.
Nothing's here.
We
and then-
derail
and then
everybody.
There's also Star Hanger, which is a website where a lot of people go on, which is very, very reputable. A lot of people are reselling on there. It tends to be a little higher priced than the other sites. And from a positive standpoint, I agree with Dr. Murray. For people that are just rabidly obsessed with LTI, they can get it there. People who don't want to wait for the November concepts, the November anniversary sale, everything goes up for sale, like the 890 Jump, the Merchantman, the Idris, the Javelin, the Polaris, all these ships that you can only buy once a year, and if they happen to be in January or February, it's like, holy crap, I just cannot wait for the ship that I cannot fly for 9 months. I have to buy it now. There's the gray market. I mean, one of the other negatives that a lot of those people don't realize, though, is that as you start working your way up these very arbitrary ranks of concierge, from High Admiral to Grand Admiral to Space Marshal, getting your gold armor, your gold sniper rifle, and then most people think that they're never actually going to get to the Wing Commander $10,000 level and get that F8 Lightning. after a few years, they realized, like, holy crap, I'm at $5,000, $6,000, $7,000. I didn't think I'd ever get here, except that I spent $1,000 on the gray market, and I'm $1,000 away from getting that F8 or that gold armor, which, like, it's like I'd never wear that god awful gaudy gold armor, and then it's like, god damn it, I wear that stupid shit all the time.
Because you got it and somebody else doesn't.
It's exclusive.
I mix and match it with other stuff, but yeah, you start feeling special because you've blown a lot of money on virtual spaceships, and it's like, god damn it, you just have to show it off.
And you're not special by having it, but we like to feel like we are.
You're not. You're just a crazy lunatic who likes
I mean,
spaceships.
you're special.
Special.
You're special just like everybody else.
That's right.
Short plus.
Okay, so
special.
I guess just to finish off on the gray market, if you do want to access safe or well accredited and valuable members of the gray market, talk to people in the community to see if they've had experience with other gray market members, because we all know ones that we sort of trust, but at the same time we don't necessarily condone using gray market because it doesn't back the game as much as buying it outright, but there's options. Okay, next question. What would you like to see or added to or taken away from the Drake Kraken? P.S. The manufacturer is a given.
Awesome, Astro. More cargo space, as I was saying.
I think the only thing I'd like it to have is a bar. It needs a bar.
Wasn't
A
there
pilot
something else?
bar.
Yeah,
Didn't they
'cause
say
you
that
have
it didn't have a med bay?
It doesn't.
For a ship of that size, I don't own the Kraken or care for the Kraken all that much because it's Drake. It's a very, very cool ship. It's a great org base. As an org base, you'd think that you should have a med bay, but most likely people are going to have a Cutlass Red
Or an Apollo.
or an Apollo. So
Yeah.
I think a bar would be a good idea.
Yeah, exactly. It needs a pilot.
Obviously.
Obviously.
This is a shoe.
What?
It's not for you.
Gray market, yeah, or no. The only thing I would change in the Kraken is actually give it more larger. Actually, if you could make internal bays, but I know that was the whole point of it being a light carrier. But other than that, more cargo space, 'cause that's all I'd use it for.
I like Dragger's comment. Yeah, Kraken's lucky to have a toilet.
Oh yeah, they got a bucket. Shut up.
Only
It's funny
one
because the
for
bucket
everybody on
actually
the
is a
ship.
bar. Whoever was asking for a bar earlier, it's the same thing.
A bucket and a
Just
bar.
not what you wanted.
Gross.
How can you steal organs without a med bay? Well, that is a good point, actually.
I can
You
do
know-
it now without a mid
So-
bay.
Oh, that's true. Good.
They were
So-
talking about the RSI triage, right? The medevac, that you would need that. In order
Apollo?
to, the Apollo, in order to ship organs, right?
Yes.
So
Which
there's the mechanic
actually
and
it
game
does.
plan.
Yes.
Yes. Sharp
So,
knife.
so
guys in a bathtub. Yep.
welcome to the chat. Welcome to the chat. Decipher Zero is asking, "What's with throwing all the shade on Drake?"
It's
John
a very good
Calkins.
question.
Shut-
Very good
They have
question.
No.
issues.
Shall we let him take this one?
I like Drake. I don't care what they say.
I
A
think
lot of people think that Drake is cheap, and that means crappy. But they're cheap as in built on a budget, which means not crappy.
Efficiently
Yeah.
built. Let's go
Yeah.
with that.
Yes.
Some of us have a bias
They get
against
the
Drake.
job
I
done.
like that.
They're just
But-
not pretty.
All I have to say
I
is
like
them Drake
Drake.
ships. I mean,
They're not my
well, if
favorite
Drake ships, if I ever
manufacturer.
needed a decoy to shoot at, that's
Drake do make
Okay,
good ships. But they
clearly
make
we
them
are
on a budget.
split on
They make them
this, so-
effectively.
Oh,
The-
so
the
Don't
thing-
I
Drake
agree?
and
I
Drake-
very much liked. Go ahead, Stim.
I was going to say Drake ships, don't come with the fun stuff in life. Not the fun stuff. They don't come with a lot of the quality of life items, like sometimes toilets. They don't come with ejection seats. Sometimes life pods. I mean, they just don't come with the stuff that you would.
Any extras?
Yeah,
The stuff that helps
It's
you
a bare
I
bones.
don't know,
It's a bare bones kind of
survive.
ship.
So you
Like,
could say
I-
for those that are living on the edge and are hardcore, and you want to play like you play all your games in hardcore mode, Drake is the way to go. Right?
There you go.
And I do agree with Drager's comment that the Cutlass is probably one of the best priced all around multi-purpose ships out there. Cutlass is a great ship if you can tolerate owning a Drake ship, which I had one for a while and I turned it into something else. I really enjoyed John Crew, his comment on the Corsair RTV on Friday, where he was saying that the state-of-the-art scanners on the Corsair are really just slightly better than average scanners for any other manufacturer.
State of the art.
So that's kind of what Drake is. It's kind of, if you want a ship that gets the job done, it's easy to repair because they're basic parts. It's great. I happen to like the BMW ships. I like ships that look really nice. That
cost a lot to repair.
Designed. I don't care. I'm not going into combat. I'm not going to do, dangerous, dirty work. I'm a space tourist.
Well, they're still going to have to repair your ship. Wear and tear.
Yeah, but I'm a rich space tourist. I'm throwing money at things. I don't care.
But you never know when you're going to need something that's more about function than form to get a job done, and you might not want everybody to know that you did it. So
I'm not that kind of person.
Hide a Drake every now and then.
I'll hire someone to do that.
So we've got a comment in chat. Citizen Lou says that Drake ships will be a stepping stone ship when the game goes live, and I do agree with that because
100%.
You kind of want to go through some cheaper ships and then find those ships you really want to play with for long term.
Yeah,
I don't want to be stepping on Drake, but I think that's one mechanic people will leverage.
Yeah, I mean, it's like playing other games like Battlefield, right? All the games, I mean, all the weapons are really, let's face it, they're all basically the same. They just have different characteristics. It's the one you find that you like, and you may not even thought you have liked it, and that just might be a Drake ship, but it's not going to really it's not going to really matter until life matters. It's like right now we're in PTU, we're just playing around, we're in the alpha. Death really doesn't matter. Well, when death matters, then you're really going to start to worry about that. So I'm going to be very curious to see how Drake ships fare at that point. So I'll just say that.
Well,
yeah, and I recommend that to new backers that when they get a Mustang or an Aurora, the best upgrade that they can do as quickly as possible for $20 to $25 is an Avenger Titan, or if they want to spend a little bit more, go to the Cutlass.
Yeah,
that's the best.
Cutlass is
upgrade.
a great ship.
And for its price and what it is a great ship.
It is a great ship.
I do not argue that at all. I do not argue that at all. But once you grow up, you go over it.
Should we stop digging a hole for ourselves? Let's move on to the next question. If I have an 890 jump with 24 months insurance, and at some future point this ship raises in price to over 1K, questionable, will my insurance be retroactively increased to LTI? P.S. All ships valued at 1K plus automatically receive LTI, which is a good point to note for the listeners.
We have no freaking idea.
I don't know. Increase in price anymore. I think.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to go up either.
Actually, I think that they might after it goes flight ready. I think there is a distinct possibility, and we've talked about it in the Jump Club quite a bit, that if they raise the price to over $1,000, that the people who have ships with limited insurance, if they want to spend the difference to upgrade from an $890 ship to another $100 or whatever it is to go up over the limit to get LTI, just like the people who had 48-month insurance went to 60-month, went to 72-month.
Yeah.
They melted and they got a new ship with better insurance. For LTI, people will spend extra. So if it's an $1,100 ship, a lot of people may spend that extra $200 to have an LTI jump.
Right, yeah. I can see that too.
And I just think if anything, they'll upgrade it to $990 and just
$999.
Screw with everybody.
$9.99.
Yeah, just an infinite.
That's like
0.94 cents.
Only,
I
think even at $999, it's a bargain for the size of that ship and what people are seeing. Well, it's the first ship that can carry other ships, that has an actual hangar. It has a huge vehicle bay with cargo. It has just a tremendous amount of interior space, and it's the biggest ship that we've had in the game. and I think it's still a bargain at close to $1,000. So if they went to
Yeah.
$1,100, and there are a shit ton of owners that would plop down $200 to have an LTI jump at $1,100,
Yeah.
and not even think twice about
But
it.
back to the question, no, I don't think they'll upgrade your insurance to
Yeah,
LTI.
I don't think
No,
it'll reach 1,000 to be honest. But
They
Yeah.
will not
And I-
retroactively.
we won't.
I don't think it's going to go up.
100% no.
Mm.
I-
But if it
But
did, you
it
don't
might.
think they would retroactively change the LTI on it?
They will
No.
definitely not. No.
Well, I mean, it all goes back to how
You'll
many
spend
ships fit
extra.
into that framework. Like, how many are just into the $1,000?
But then when that would
Not a lot.
no, but when
Yeah,
that would
you-
happen, if it
you'll
were to
have to spend
happen, would be at the anniversary sale, and at that point it would be LTI
Yeah,
if it was.
Doc
over
and I
1,000.
have problems
people
during
just
that sale.
melt their old ones and buy the new ones.
I remember the last one. Things swelled,
Yeah.
and it wasn't the
goes
thing I
fast.
wanted to swell.
They'd probably make it $9.99 for War Bond and 1,001 for credit, and then it won't be LTI.
Next question.
Next question. Okay, what level of content do you think CIG has done for Squadron 42? Multiple systems and moons, and many ships overtop what they need to allow for an open world feel, or just enough to put the game on rails and make it feel large? That comes from Spectre through the website.
Well, I think Squadron 42 isn't going to be as open. I think it's going to be, I don't know. I mean, I'm speculating, but I'm assuming because of the way that they've laid out the roadmap, it's going to be very like mission based.
Because the cinematics, it needs to be fairly linear.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, there's the other thing, and it kind of actually bothered me. I've honestly been not trying to watch any Squadron. I really want it to be all a surprise to me. But, I mean, we go back to, and I go back to the original Wing Commander. I mean, if you looked at the tree that you could take going through different, skill bar, you failed this mission, you go this way, you succeed there. You look at those and it's like, that's exciting because it's like choose your own adventure. Well, kind of indirectly. I mean, you failed, but either way, it's one of those, I don't want it to be, if you fail, you have to go back and try again. I really don't want that. And I really hope they get away with that. But I do understand that adds a huge level of extra.
I like that choose your own adventure
I-
concept. I think that'll be great.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go back in time to Wing Commander number 1. Who played the first Wing Commander?
Who played what?
The first Wing Commander.
First Wing Commander. Yeah.
I still have the books.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you played those missions, and you could go quite a ways into that mission, and if you died at the very end of the mission, you have to start over at the very beginning of the mission.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what Chris was talking about. Is that okay? You're not going to have to start the entire thing over again, but if you're on a mission that's supposed to take you several hours, and you get to the very end of that mission, and you fail, you're going to do the entire thing over again. And that was kind of that level of Death of a Spaceman, of invested, and things mean something. It's not that autosave like I do when I play most RPGs, like save, do the fight, save, do the fight, save, do the fight. Because I'm paranoid, I'm not gonna make it. and on the topic of it being on rails and systems, I think it's primarily in the Odin system and maybe in one other system.
Yeah.
And it's going to be pretty much, you can do other things, but you have to come back to the storyline and follow the cinematic storyline that they've developed. And somebody earlier, I think it's scrolled up, like, how much is an 890 jump going to cost to operate in the verse? And I said a lot.
That's a valid question too.
Yeah, it is not going to be cheap to operate.
Yachts are not cheap.
Nope.
Yachts are not cheap. They're money sinks. And
Yep.
yeah, there's going to be missions for them for NPC hauling, but the majority of all the jump owners that we know in the jump club, and we know most of them, they're mostly just to enjoy themselves and blow money on.
Yep.
And it's for dreaming, right? It's for being able to think about what you're going to do with the ship in the game. It's like buying a lottery ticket. You can't dream about it if you don't have the ticket. That's, some people feel that way. And I think that's one of the reasons.
I feel like
why
SE42, I mean, Squadron 42 is a lot, is kind of really the brazing test grounds. I mean, let's face it, you're going to do a lot in there that you in the final release, but at the same time, it's going to be a great fleshing out period. And I don't know. bothered by the fact that it seems linear, but I'm not going to watch it. I'm just going to play it and I'm going to love it.
Yeah.
So.
I've kept my
it's a-
Squadron 42
it's a
info to a
single play.
minimum.
It's a single player game. It's
Right.
not an open universe. So we have
Yeah.
the persistent
Right.
universe,
Yeah.
and we have Squadron 42. Squadron 42 is that linear story. What it is that Chris is going for is literally
That
playing
movie
through
experience.
a movie.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It's that you are the lead character in a movie, playing through the script from the beginning to the end, and that's going to be the experience.
Right.
And going through and interacting with Gillian Anderson and Mark Hamill and Mark Strong and Liam Cunningham and these AAA actors. I mean, you're going to be going through this movie, interacting with AAA characters one-on-one. It's going to feel like you're in a movie, and that's what he's going for. It's not just like another video game. So it's like being on rails is fine, because I'm going to be playing through this Hollywood movie.
Okay, so I have a question.
Yeah.
So
agreed.
how many people out there, because now we have female characters in the game, how many people are out there are excited about the potential of there being a romance or a love interest sort of thing going on
Tim
in
has a
Squadron
question,
42?
first of all. That was interesting. No, I would totally, yeah, because I mean, look at every single Wing Commander beforehand, right?
Yeah, there's been one.
You pretty much had that.
Yeah,
chance.
remember Angel?
The first one.
Nope, there wasn't one in the first one.
Yeah, there
Alright,
wasn't one.
alright,
in the-
alright.
There
Was it
was in the
second
second.
or third? Yeah.
And there was in
There
the
was?
third.
The
Yeah.
third and the fourth, definitely.
Are we talking
but-
about two
Yeah.
different things, or what are we talking about?
No, that was Wing
Are we
Commander.
talking
We're talking about
about
Wing Commander
42?
2 and 3.
Or female characters?
Oh,
Both.
no, he was talking about
A love
in
interest, you
Squadron
know?
42.
Yeah. Like a whole
Which is
romance
totally gonna be
plot
the-
in Squadron 42, because it was in Wing Commander
Oh,
series.
And since it's
Okay.
2019, or will be 2020 when it comes out, it'll probably be a romance option for both male and female.
Yes, or non-binary, or
Yeah.
Oh,
Robots?
that's an excellent
Yep.
point, right?
Yep.
hmm.
Yep. Well,
Red-
and I
Rainbows
think that
fly.
the
Either way, right?
the Mass
Don't bother
Effects
me.
were pretty notorious or famous for that whole side of things. But I thought we were talking about the PU. I thought we were jumping to a whole different topic with the female characters, because we have not actually talked about that.
We haven't. On
It's hard to talk
Saturday,
about that without you guys getting very gross.
but on Saturday when we do
No,
some gameplay,
no,
I think one of the things we'll do is create a female character. I think that'll be a fun thing to do.
Why don't we just get some females to come play with us?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that too.
Play
That too.
females.
Do we
which
know any?
Actually, so that leads to major news. So I posted a Twitter this morning of Mystic and I having a beer at the G-Lock bar. Her as a female and me as a male, as we are, and talking about that. And I started tagging all the female gamers in the community that I know, and I know quite a few. And then I had this light bulb. It's like, they've all been talking about this for years, and they're all excited about this individually. And so I've seen various streams where they're all excited about this, and I've seen the tweets, and I've seen the pictures and the screenshots. But the female community is still a very small part of the Star Citizen community. But there are a lot of female gamers out there, and there's a lot of space nerds that are females out there that love Star Wars, that love Star Trek.
It really
that love
is.
The Expanse.
Yeah,
And
very much so.
that they're intimidated by the gaming community because the whole bro thing and the whole
Be stronger than that. Crush them.
but-
You're
but-
women.
Okay, so that's easy for you to say, but not everybody is that kind of woman. There's
It's true,
a
it's
lot
true.
that are that
Sure.
have a bit of trepidation about coming into these male-dominated communities, where, face it, most guys are pretty, shitty assholes. I mean,
don't know.
they're
With anonymity and a screen between them, you bet your
I
ass.
have a
do.
lot of
It-
cats,
yeah.
so I know how women work.
Yeah.
Love
I-
it. We'll
it's
win.
not an easy thing. So what kind of became this epiphany for me was like, this is a great opportunity to let's bring all these people that have been operating independently out there together. And it's like, they should really coalesce
Mm.
and create a space and a group for for females in the gaming community. And so I started reaching out, and it's like, I don't know, it's like dozens of them were coming in, and they all got excited. It's like, I didn't realize that there were this many other females in the community. It's like they thought they were like almost the only ones, because it's such a rare thing to have females in this community. So I started creating this dialogue, and just blew up all day. I hardly got any work done today because I was trying to keep this Twitter thing going and tagging more people and
George,
talking
you
to
need any
people.
help with that? Let me know.
And like, yeah, you're one of those guys.
Well, no, I mean, I think women. I mean, women are. Let's face it. Women, if they really wanted to, they could take over this earth. But you know what? They're just biding their time, and I feel like that's kind of what. That's why the cat come in and
they run things like the cats do behind the scenes.
Yeah, well, I mean, cats are the only ones that ever domesticate.
Yeah, so
I feel like women could do it, but they're just like, yeah, not yet.
It's
But
like,
they don't want to domesticate the male because then they're not attracted
they're trying to overcome
the
several
wildness.
thousands or more years of being kind of behind the curve here on the power
Dominate
structure.
the day.
But it's like I was looking at, like, in replying to some of these tweets, I was looking for gifs of like powerful kicking ass women like Mila Jovovich in Ultraviolet and Resident Evil, and Trinity in The Matrix, and Black Widow and the Avenger movies, and Tomb Raider. And these really strong, kick-ass female characters out there, and a lot of these gals, they want to do that. Like Mystic saying she's been a girl gamer since 2002, but it's gotten a lot better over the years, but still not quite there. And she's been had a lot of trepidation about coming into, like, she wants to split the ZDFers with Rexilla, and there's like one girl out of like hundreds and hundreds of people.
Why does it matter though?
And well, it doesn't matter to you, but you're not a female.
But if I was a girl, I would be the same way. I'm not different.
And you have a different personality
and
as
not
well,
all
Shadow,
and not all girls are like that. So like I reached out to what the one primary girl in the ZDF who's poke my Pikachu, and she stands out as a very, very strong but very nice gal, and she's risen to a position of leadership. And I always call her General Pikachu or General Pika, because when all these other guys are they're all just being a bunch of disorganized idiots out there, she's really one of the most disciplined leaders in that entire group. And so I was having a conversation with her, and she doesn't quite relate to the other females that aren't as strong as her, and dive in and just take charge, because not everybody is. And the same thing with guys. Not everybody is strong enough.
I mean, I feel like a lot of guys in the Rex's chat or this thing is they're jumping in, they just want to be a part of it.
Well, not take charge, but to be able to stand up to just to be in a different situation. All right, so think about people at a party, and you've got the people that are wallflowers on the side, and then you have the people that are out there mingling. So it's like the people who have stronger personalities are out there in the middle of things, and I have to say that Shadow, you're probably one of those dominant personalities. I mean, not as a dominant person, but you're one of those people who has no problem walking into a crowd and being part of the center of it, as opposed to those
people, though, right? I mean, and person is a person, a female.
But a lot of people, males and females, and I used to be very shy as a young person. So standing off to the side and not really knowing how to get in and be a part of things and join a group, a lot of people struggle with that, and a lot of girls do, especially in the gaming community, because there are so many guys that make it unfriendly and hard to get into. So I reached out to several people, and one of them, she's been a prominent member of the community, Ms. Hartz, and she's going to reach out to some other leading people in the community, and they're going to start a girls' night out, just like a social community where all the girls,
for you.
So
When you
100%.
get that going, let me know.
As soon as she starts this, we're going to spread this out there, and it's going to be a safe place. They're going to start it with a Discord channel because it's a great place for people just to chat, as we learned through Bar Citizen and Jump Club and all the other social groups out there. It's not an org. There's no agenda. There's no power struggles. It's really just a place for the girl gaming community to come and
Good.
talk to
Girl
others,
power.
for
That's great.
new players to come in who are interested in spaceships or who want to do whatever in the verse, and come into a group that they feel is safe, where they can talk with other girls and guys that are socially
And that's progress.
acclimatized,
Good.
as opposed to most of the gaming community.
Yeah.
And
All the games, D1 probably one of the best, but yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
and Star Citizen is definitely one of the best communities, but there's still a lot of toxic people out there. It's not as bad as many others.
But it's going to get better, and as we've seen, and testimony from Mystic Star saying that it is getting better. That's excellent. And one day I hope to have a really great female co-host on our show with us, right?
100%.
Representing and
We could put Doc in a skirt.
Well,
it's not quite the same
She's
thing.
not wearing a skirt right
It's
now.
not avoidable. Oh well, no, that's a kilt.
Yeah.
I hope.
Well, I'd love to get Miss Hart's on here, actually. And we also have some folks in the Jump Club. We actually have Aliciana, who owns
Yeah.
a Jump. We have Sarah Bear, who owns a Jump. I think there's a
There's
couple
a
others,
bunch
but
in
those are the
UEMC
two.
as well?
I'm at a party,
who's that?
pal. I spilled my drink.
There's a bunch of women in the UEMC, in the mining corporation. Not a lot, but a few that are
They're
really
there.
outspoken
They're really
in the
there,
community.
so
So they're there. We just need to
there's
feel more
tons out there,
representation
so-
from them.
Would definitely like to help.
That might be a fun show.
Bring
The
Yeah.
ladies of Star Citizen.
Totally.
100%.
That would be really
Yeah.
cool.
So
Because I have a
that's-
few
so
that
that's-
are from Ohio. That
so that's my news and my my new mission here for
Very
today.
cool,
'cause
Jordan.
That,
Very cool.
That started this morning, and I made a big deal.
Nice.
Yeah, Spectre mentioned
Well done.
High Empress, who's out of France, but she's only on very rarely. She's got some health issues, so and a lot of real life stuff. So I didn't mention her as necessarily coming onto our show, because also she's in the EU, and their timing is kind of shitty for 2 to 3
we could do something
a.m.
pre-recorded
out
even.
there.
Well, yeah, we can make it work. Either way.
Yep.
Okay.
No, I think it's a good idea
no.
because I really think we should.
Hmm.
What the hell does it matter? It's like
Yeah.
if you're dominant, if you're not dominant, you want to just have fun, you want to come on here and freaking own the entire universe. Either way, I feel like it should be the
100%.
same.
Yeah. Well, and
Yeah.
and
Good
and like on that side of owning the universe, like Mystic wants to get better at FPS, and she wants to be able to get out there, and she used to be a pretty strong tank DPSer in World of Warcraft,
Nice.
and some other games, but she doesn't.
Was she a
have that
tank or a
confidence
DPS?
level.
Yeah. Was she a tank or a DPS?
Like,
There's
Mystic, were you a
'Cause those
tank
aren't the
or a
same.
DPS?
Mystic Tank or DPS.
I know,
She's
they're
gonna
like-
say both just because
like-
she's
like-
awesome.
Yeah.
But I thought it was really cool that Rex's girlfriend or fiance, Artstar, she is the female world champion team. So there's a CS:GO female team. They are the world champions,
Nice.
and she's on that team. And she volunteered to help teach FPS to Ladies of Star Citizen.
Fantastic.
Correct.
Huh?
That's
That's
she had
good.
one of about everything in WoW. So she did a little tanking, little DPSing.
Little tanky, little DS. Under all that.
A little bit of everything. Nice.
But
Alright.
and so that was really exciting today to see. I mean, coming from, we just got the female character model finally after so many years and so long waiting, and Sandy
Yep.
giving Chris a hard time a few patches ago. I thought that was pretty hilarious. A lot
Okay,
of
so-
healing damage as a druid.
It's always good.
Let's move on, guys, to the next question because we spent a lot of time there. And ladies take over the show. That's how women work. Okay, so
See, there you go.
shots
again.
fired. Okay, do you think that the new flight model should have been more polished since it was pushed back?
How is it not polished?
I don't think it's
Yeah.
not polished.
It's pretty polished.
No,
It's pretty
I,
polished
I saw it-
because if you saw it before at
I saw it
CitizenCon,
unpolished.
yeah, no, I think that the concern there is more that it's a huge change to controls, and the PTU is super buggy because it's wave 1.
Yeah.
So you can't really say anything is
Yeah.
polished right now.
Right.
Yeah, I
'Cause
think
it
it's- I
is the
don't think
first
it's more
implementation
the-
of it, even though it was pushed
Well, I
back.
don't think it's a flight model. I think it's instances where the flight model has to exist, and there's other things that are interfering with it, like or RCorp and things like or Area 18 specifically when you're coming in. It's kind of like I mean, I think it's more of there's some surrounding things that are influencing the model more than actually. But I mean, I actually like it. I think it's more simplified that you can explain it.
Right.
So, when you're trying to bring somebody in there and you're like, oh yeah, there's an afterburner and then there's this boost thing and then there's but now it's more simplified. So I think it's better and I think it works well. I think it's just some nuances that are working fine.
It takes a lot to get used to, and the PT is very buggy.
Yeah.
Okay, and then when we look at the way the flight model's been implemented now for atmosphere flight, we only have the drag effect, right? We don't have lift in the game yet.
I think there's a little bit, but not in all cases.
Depends on the ship.
Yeah, and the
Yeah.
drag effect, it doesn't actually influence heat yet, does it? Like
No, but it does. Your thrusters do work harder, so they overheat.
to
so-
keep you like
Yeah.
balance
If you-
coming through.
If you speed up, you'll see them overheat quicker, and if you hover for an extended period of time, they'll start to overheat.
Nice.
And it depends on what ship you're in too.
Yeah, I don't think it's unpolished. I think it's just there's some nuances.
Hmm.
And it's not gonna be super polished. It's still PTU, and even when it's PU live, we're still testing, we're still iterating.
You
True.
love the test of an alpha. So yeah,
Exactly.
we'll get there.
Okay,
So, yeah, I know everybody likes the word polish, but
so let's get
I
in
always
some
use
lightning
this
round
polish.
questions. So we're going to
Lightning
try
round, here we
and
go.
hit them really fast. So what was the ship in the covert intel part of the SQ42 newsletter? Did you guys see that newsletter?
The look on my
it
face
just-
says no.
Yeah,
came
so it just came out?
When was that?
yeah, today I got it hours ago.
Don't.
I didn't see it.
I'm looking at it right now.
Oh, there it is.
I'm looking at it right now.
We're all looking at it right now.
I'll see if I can
Apparently.
find mine and put it up.
Una momento, por favor. We will be with you.
We're all looking at our emails
I don't know an ounce
while
of
we're on
Spanish.
stream.
That
It's
was
like,
totally
what's going on? There's a bunch of
What?
stuff. There's a roadmap.
Toronto today.
The only picture I see are of the Gladius cockpit.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Squadron 42 update email.
Yeah, but
There's a bunch of stuff.
it's definitely a Gladius.
Yep.
That's just AI shit.
I feel like whoever asked
don't
that
know.
question won the day. Lark,
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know.
you won. You tripped the yacht club. Not
That's
saying that we
covered
didn't
intel.
fall over our drinks normally, but well done.
Unless potentially, and I didn't find the actual phrase in the email yet because it's fairly long. But unless they're talking about,
I think it's right at the beginning.
maybe they're hinting towards the Aegis ship that's going to be unveiled.
No.
Don't think so.
No, because it says
Secret intel
at
from
the
the
very
far reaches of the
beginning.
globe.
Yeah. The information contained in this communication is
Keep
extremely
reading. We're
sensitive.
topping-
Yeah. Approach all
Well,
records after reading.
oh,
But it comes from UE Naval High Command.
Actually, that just sounds like they're talking about the secret information about the actual development of Squadron 42. I think that's just kind of their marketing BS. there.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything unique in that. I think
Nope.
that's just
Well, we shall
More,
see.
more
It's a,
interesting.
hey, it caught all of us off guard. I give them kudos on that much. It was good. Very cool.
Oh, so it's all about the AI pilots and stuff.
Military 600i. Yeah, I kind of don't think it needs to have a military variant. It already seems to kill everything gets in its way.
Yeah. They're definitely not going to
Okay.
sell the militarized 600i. They said they make
Like,
12
it's
of them or
in
something
the
in their
military.
lore.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're not going to. So, all right, moving on to the next.
It's a,
Next
There
it's
we
a
go.
question.
Next
recap.
question. Lightning round. This is supposed to be lightning.
Motion
All right,
sensor. Really great though.
This is a very good question.
Strike lightning.
Ships audio. Okay, lightning rounds. Back to it. Okay.
The next question.
Do you believe RSI should make all ships available in the store and allow the price to dictate rarity?
No.
Wow. So
Yes
a
and
really
no.
true market.
No. All right. Let me hear you. Yes, Joe.
Okay,
Yeah. What's
so-
your
You
yes?
you can't have that.
Yeah, I think they should make almost all ships available all the time, except for the extremely limited ships like the Idris, the Javelin,
But why?
890, the Phoenix,
maybe the 890.
Other than the cost, what makes those
Polaris.
unique?
the whole.
Why not sell those ships? I mean, I understand that they want to have a some kind of limit on how many that there are in the verse, based on how many citizens there are and all these metrics. So the only thing that I cannot speak to is that their projection of metrics of
Yeah.
how many of these ships they think that there should be, for how much space there is, how many Orions should there be, how many Polarises should there be.
Yeah, but you're never going to be able to control that. I mean, let's look
Yeah,
at Eve. I mean, like they said, they thought when they brought out Titans, it was like,
there'd be
oh,
5
there
Titans.
will
Now
be
there's
5.
hundreds.
Yeah, there's like 6,000 in the first month.
Thousands, and they have battles, and they destroy 50 at a time in a battle.
Right.
But I think that there's two sides to the reason that they limit those. One is what they've stated is that they have a concept of how many there should be in the verse. The other is that they've had this ongoing marketing and sales strategy of limited scarcity.
Artificial
So
scarcity.
artificial scarcity.
Artificial,
People get all worked up, and it's like, oh, I got to buy this. But the bigger problem, and that goes to the $0 CCUs, which are going away, is that a lot of people don't have all of their money to spend in November, right before Christmas. And people may have a lot of money when they get their tax return in April or May. So they may have a lot of money to spend, and there's no ships for sale when they get their tax returns. They've got $1,000. Like, they might spend $1,000 on spaceships, or they might get a bonus at work, or they may just be able to fit in an extra few $100s a month at various times of the year, and they can't because there's nothing really interesting for sale.
Yeah, but Jordan, so
the bigger ships.
So go ahead and have another sale in and around tax time, okay, and have another sale, have a couple of those sales. The problem is if you make, let's say, the Freelancer miss, if you then open the cap on that ship and it gets bought all the time, and especially sort of lending more towards what the question was, is making price actually dictate the rarity. That ship would inflate in price, or we'd have so much more of them in the verse than Chris Roberts wants in the verse.
That's the one of the other no parts that I think that the rarity dictates the price, not the price dictating the or
it has a huge gauge
or
on it,
vice versa. So a ship like the Miss, all right, so it's $150, and that's not a lot of money. Or $175.
Yeah.
It's less than $200. I mean, anybody can own one. Everybody can own one. Not everybody wants one, but I don't see any reason to limit people from having one, because you can only fly one ship at a time. So out of how many backers we have, you can still only fly one ship at a time, and there's limitations as far as where you can be in the verse. It's like, all right, so if way more people have misses, how is that much different from people having Polarises or Retaliators or Eclipses and torpedoing people? I mean, the Eclipse and the Retaliator are probably the number one and number two griefer ships, where people just like to go around and just blow people up. And I think that whatever those ships are priced at is whatever they're valued at from their
components and hull.
Components and hull and scarcity rarity. So
Right.
if they want fewer of them out there, they'll price them higher. I don't think they should be limited. I think ships like the Idris, yep, limited. Javelin, yep, limited. 890. Honestly, I don't think they should limit the 890. If somebody really wants to spend $1,000 on a space yacht, let them spend $1,000 on a space yacht. Not that many people are going to do it.
I think there's a ship density that they're going for, where they want
Yeah.
more
Well,
ships
that-
to be common than other ships.
That's
so
right.
they sell those common
That's the-
ships.
And
That's a
the
whenever
limited.
they-
890s
Yes.
are specifically limited, just like the
Right.
just like the
That's
the
that's
Phoenixes,
the
etc.
that's the common
And the Kraken, and the
understanding
Idris.
is that the scarcity. I mean, how many should there be? But is it by space? Is it by the number of backers? And so
It
if we
seems to be
have
by
2
the
million
number.
backers right now, Xylo, I love you, man. Love you, man.
Welcome, Zylo.
So, but project out to in 5 to 10 years, and I fully believe we could have 10 million backers and
Yeah,
active in the
agreed.
universe. Okay, so if we sell a few thousand more ships, it's still a tiny percentage of the overall community. Not everybody's going to buy more than just a starter ship. Not everybody's crazy like us, and we're just going to
Right.
like $1,000 space yacht. I want that. Sure. The people can afford things as they can. Not everybody's going to spend that kind of money. The number of people that are whales, concierge, super high level backers, it's really a very small percentage of the
call me fat.
overall community.
Yes, you're super
And-
large backer.
And so I think that if they let people buy them as they can afford them on their own budgets, they would probably see more people buying more ships. Because the whole thing about the scarcity, it's like, yeah, everybody gets all bent out of shape, and then people it's like, oh Christ, I ran out my credit cards, I got to pay those off for the next 6 months or whatever. Whereas like a lot of people, and I talk to people, it's like, man, I just backed and it's January, it's like, I want this ship, I want that ship, I want a Carrack, man, I want a Benny Merchantman, and it's like, and this is their dream ship, and they can't buy it until November. So that's what creates the gray market, and that the gray market exists because there's a demand that's not met by CIG's sales strategy. So this is something that I don't think ships should have LTI. I think that for and the other part of the argument, because I've been through this discussion a lot, that to drive people to buy now as opposed to later. Okay, why should I buy it now as opposed to later? Is okay. Well, if there's a constant increasing in price of ships over, say, $200, it's like, okay, well, I better buy it this year because next year it's going up 20%. So it's going to go up to $240 next year. So I better buy it this year. So, and that drives that immediacy, but not like it has to be bought within 1 week, in 1 year, when a lot of people are trying to save money for the holidays. I mean, that's the most asinine thing. It's like everybody has the holidays coming up the month later for Christmas and their families. It's like, and they've got to put some money aside for their spaceships. And if they could buy it at tax time or when they got a bonus, or like, I'm in sales, and my sales guys, we get commissions at the beginning of every month. It's like, hey, somebody makes a big sale. It's like, I did that. It's like, I got a big commission in October or something like that. We had a really good month.
Just time for
And
the
it's like,
anniversary sale.
But actually it was not at the anniversary, it was before the anniversary sale. And it's like, and I had my $500 Explorer package that I melted for my jump back in 2016. It's like, I've been waiting to get my Explorer package back. It's like, I didn't have $500 I could put on it. It's like, man, it's like, I got that extra commission. It's like, fuck, I'm going to put that down on that right now, because I got the money. I don't want to put it on a credit card. It's like, got that money right now. I'm going to put it on the ships. And you can do it on, because everybody has a different personal financial schedule. Some people, they sold a house, and it's like, they got a little extra money. It's like, I'm going to buy some ships, and that's not necessarily in November.
Not
and
a
by
good
the time November
allocation
rolls
of
around,
funds from
You're breaking
house
up,
to
Chip.
ships. let's just say that for the community. Priorities.
Okay.
Ships not better than houses.
Well, some of us, but no. I forgot how you even got here.
Next
Well,
question.
the ship pricing situation, and Xylo is here, so and I want to make sure this is out there. Because
No, but if you
I've
can
had
earn
this
a house in the
discussion a lot.
game, then
It's
that's a
important.
different story now.
Oh, don't
Oh,
even
you
open
see?
that can
You
of
see?
worms right now.
All right, so moving on to the next question.
So
Yeah,
that's
because-
it. That's it for questions.
I am too. Really?
So yeah, any more questions
What?
if you want to post them? Otherwise, we're getting towards the end of the show.
Wow.
Yeah.
Another great show.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was really good,
Wow.
guys. Guys and
Okay, what's your
gals
question?
participating.
Unmatched 44.
Go, 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 go. You have our attention for the first time ever. Oh, you lost it.
We're waiting.
Shadow has a
I
very
just-
short attention span.
Yeah, you already lost me. I'm already thinking I'm going to have to drink.
Yeah.
Don't forget, there's a delay
kinda
between
feel like-
us and chat.
I kind of feel like
Should I melt
the
my freelancer for a
McKellen
Corsair as a
25.
mission
Should.
ship?
Unmatched. It depends on what kind of missions that you want to do. The Corsair has 72 SCU of
For the
cargo.
love of God, don't do that. All right, I'm just
The-
putting that in there.
You totally should.
No.
You should totally, if
No.
you really want to, you should totally do that.
It's going to give you a lot more capabilities. A freelancer miss, absolutely not, unless all you want to do is blow stuff up.
Melvin
Because-
Oh, it's just a
Corsair.
regular freelancer. He didn't say.
Yeah,
No,
is it a
for
base
sure.
freelancer or is it a
No,
variant?
No, he said
Freelancer DUR.
no. He
Oh, he did say freelancer miss. Oh,
Yeah, he said
definitely. If it's a
freelancer
freelancer miss, yeah,
So,
definitely
like,
upgrade that.
Absolutely. And you want to have a Corsair over that, because the freelancer miss has very little. It's what, 28 SCU.
It's going to be
It's-
expensive to operate as well because the missiles aren't going to be cheap.
Nope.
Missiles are going to
So-
be way more expensive than they are right now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a feeling that's an expensive deterrent.
What was your
it's more of a
favorite-
security
I love
escort
that
deterrent
question,
than it is
Silo.
a,
What was
a
your
mission
favorite
ship.
part of Citizen
2018?
in 2018?
I think it was the hug I got from
Oh.
Silo.
All of it. Well, actually, I have a
Big suck.
Breaking your ankle.
Oh,
no, it wasn't
ouch.
actually breaking my ankle. It was the high point. It was the fact that I went through it all just to get my one moment, which I will show you, and I'm very happy with because, my lord, it was freaking awesome.
What was your moment?
Let's
I
see.
will show you
That's some
my
more
moment.
questions.
Because I know he
Citizen
doesn't have.
Lou ask, am I going to regret CCUing my Carrick for a 600i?
That's my moment
For
right
solo
there.
gameplay.
That's me and Chris.
Keep
Yeah.
the Carrack.
So
Yeah, you're probably going to regret that one.
yeah.
Oh, show the
Yeah.
picture
Got a
again.
picture with Chris. Got a picture with Chris.
Oh,
No, it
nice.
wasn't even that. I
Nice.
mean, dude, seriously, that was the first time I actually got to go there, and I swear, the entire experience was awesome. It was a lot of work. I mean, I didn't do as much work as you guys because I didn't get there until a day later. But still, I mean,
Well-
it was freaking crazy hard. But I mean,
Yeah, and
the amount of
you were
just
a volunteer.
bound up, and it was
Yeah.
like, oh, it was
Yeah.
so cool. I mean, I am going to England just to be a part of it. So, or wherever it is.
Wherever it's going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, being around that many other Star Citizens, I think it is what really sums
was
it all
great.
up. Like
That was great.
being around that many other backers in one place and just feeling the energy and the love,
Yes,
the passion,
unmatched.
the backers and the devs all
Mm.
together. Like it's this shared passion and love for this project. It's just it's bigger than the Super Bowl for space nerds.
Can I? And this was really cool because Jordan, I missed this part now, or maybe I totally missed it. Was the next day we did a Bar Citizens after the con, and
Yep.
as Cernus was just talking about because I was buying him drinks because I would hobble to the bar. I said, "Hey, we will hobble to the bar with me, buy him a drink." But no, that thing we did with. I can't remember his name. The one that started Bar Citizens. I mean, no.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. Where's that at?
Michael.
Yes.
I forget his last name.
I know, it's
the guy who started. That was a tremendously emotional moment for me because
Oh God,
he
it was.
started
Yeah.
Bar Citizen. When I met, I was talking with him. I didn't realize who it was. Talking about how important Bar Citizen was to me and everything.
neither.
It's like, and then just like I realized who it was. Like, holy shit, dude, you changed my life. I mean, I was
Yeah.
fucking. I started
Michael Moreland.
like
Yeah,
Michael
Zensar
Moreland.
got it.
Michael Moreland.
Nice. Yep.
Man, I
Where
hugged
is that video? 'Cause we
Um,
shot it like 4 times. That was super
Well,
cool.
it was taken by the Houston Bar Citizen organizer. I've got to reach out to our
We
Texas
need that.
Austin Bar Citizen organizer. they were putting something together, and that's out there. Man, Xylo, you coming out to Florida was an incredible experience too. I just started the whole
Xylo, you should come on up to Ohio Bar Citizens on
Oh,
April 27th.
no,
Don't do it, Zyla. Stay away from Ohio. Stay away from Ohio.
Actually, Jordan, you need to get your butt up there too.
One of these days.
Stanley, your Canada
one of these
ace.
days.
Oh, it's like
no,
that now.
I know you're far, so
Yeah.
no, I mean that whole
Xylo, we need to ramp Bar Citizen this year. Like, how can we ramp Bar Citizen with CIG more this year? It's
so many backers sold.
I'd say that the thing that
So
that
much scotch,
really-
so little time. Sorry.
yeah, and you can only be so many places. You're one amazing guy. But one of the things that in looking back at what really helped Bar Citizen grow was when you specifically were putting Bar Citizen on ATV and talking about it.
Mm.
And I think it'd be really cool if y'all did like an occasional spot, just kind of highlighting Bar Citizens with like maybe some of the pictures. Like what I'm doing now lately for the newsletter for Cameron is putting up that montage of Bar Citizens that happened that month. So it's like 8 or 9 or 10 Bar Citizen pictures from all over the world. Some on ATV, because I mean that's what a lot of the active community put up would be really cool. Yeah, the Italian community is doing some really great stuff.
The Italian community, the
So
Russian
that's-
community,
that's
the
great.
Brits,
The whole world,
it's great.
it's growing all the time.
So should
Yeah,
we just outline right now, since we
100%.
have the
Like
topic
it's-
going? Let's just talk about what's happening with Bar Citizens for the next little while. On March 23rd, which we've already had, we missed, and some of you may have attended. There were 6 of them. There was Santa Rosa, California, Salt Lake City, Utah, Raleigh, New NC, North Carolina, Maryland. I'm Canadian, right? So you got to give me a little bit of credit on this. Maryland Heights,
He's like he even gets
Austin,
the states
Texas,
straight.
San Antonio.
Why is he introducing these?
And then on the 30th, we've got Vienna in Austria. Now, I've been there. Have you been to Vienna?
Vienna.
Not
Boston,
Nice place.
PAX East is on the 30th. So in
Yeah,
Boston.
this weekend, PAX East is going to be huge, absolutely huge, up in Boston.
Mount
Boston.
Laurel in
You said it wrong.
New
It's
Jersey.
Baston.
Boston.
Boston.
And also,
One-
lastly,
one
on the 30th is San Diego in California.
One of the traveling Bar Citizens I got to do, I was up in Boston on business, and I reached the guys on Discord. It's like, hey, I'm going to be there on like this Wednesday, and we threw a Bar Citizen. We like had like a half a dozen of the local guys show up, and and that's one of the other great things about Bar Citizen is when people are traveling, they can hop into a local Bar Citizen Discord and say, hey, I'm going to be in town.
Yep.
Anybody want to meet up for a beer? And like Stim, when you were in London, you met up
Mhm.
with Draconos.
Yep.
And that's a really cool thing. We got a lot of traveling Bar Citizen people.
And it's great. It's great to meet other people.
Great
I mean,
opportunity.
I used to be a Freemason, and that was an amazing community. And I could travel the world, and there would be somebody there that I could just go and see and drop in, and that you'd say, look, I'm going to be here, and people would step out of the woodwork and say, yeah, come stay with me, come hang out, I'll show you the town, we'll have a great time. And
Yeah.
I'm seeing the Star Citizen community start to be that way as well.
That's what this is about.
It's amazing.
Captain Vallis is asking, what is Bar Citizen anyway? I just put a link to the
Ooh.
gallery in the questions channel there. If you can throw that up there.
BarCitizens.sc.
So Bar Citizen is meetups of Star Citizen backers and space nerds all around the world. It started several years ago, and now there's over 70 communities around the world, from Hong Kong, Tokyo, South Africa, New Zealand, all over the US, London, Germany, all over Europe, where space nerds get together. Every single weekend somewhere in the world, there are Bar Citizens where space nerds get together to talk about spaceships and meet up to make other friends. There are Bar Citizens in Mexico. I think there's a Mexico Discord channel, but if you go to barcitizen.sc,
Click on the Discord
Yeah.
server map.
yeah, there's a map of events up there on the upper right. There's a little
Top right.
Tim?
That one?
Yeah, click on the.
no, up on the
There you
we
go, right there.
Okay, got it.
That's it.
Boom.
There.
Wow.
So those are all Discord channels around the world where folks are just chatting all the time.
Lark,
Yeah.
you nailed it down.
There's
The real reason pipe of it. You know, because you can't go flying through space without a proper drink. I just feel like you really can't do that.
Yeah.
I mean, you could.
Click
You just be
click-
missing.
and click on the gallery there because that's what's really impressive. Just seeing all
Yeah.
these space nerds being together is just
Oh, we need to post a few from the Ohio group.
warms
Yeah.
warms my heart. Yeah, get those over to me. I'll get them up on there. But look at all these space nerds all over the world getting together. It's amazing, and actually getting offline and meeting people out in the real world that they love spaceships and Star Wars and Star Trek. So one of the interesting experiences I had at one of the Bar Citizens was these two guys that were like, they were deep.
Oh, Saren just posted.
Deep.
He posted it a little bit ago.
Sorry.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh,
Go ahead.
These two guys were deep. Hey, there's me.
Yeah.
Deep in the Star Wars lore, and they started talking about like super crazy nerdy Star Wars lore stuff. It's like, and I was just there in awe. It's like, man, this is some seriously nerdy shit. It's awesome.
So Stimmy, yeah, can you?
Like Mystic saw
can you see
herself.
that?
Spectre saw himself. Yeah, and he's all over the
Were you
world,
posting?
like everywhere.
Oh my
And
God, that's me.
Hmm.
No, it says
Uh,
Stimmy. I just put it in the show chat.
Yeah,
There's the
Wolfie,
picture that I was talking about. That was
Oh,
really
nice.
cool.
Wolfie had a bar citizen.
Because that was the Austin bar. Was it specifically the Austin Bar Citizens, the one we went to the day after the con?
Well, that was one of, and there was a bar citizen every single night. There was one Monday. There was the official bar citizen on Tuesday, which only Disco Lando showed up to, and then we all went over to the other unofficial bar citizen, which actually had a bigger crowd, because the local bar citizen organizers planned for a big event, and then there it is. That's the Austin one.
Yeah, that's the one.
There's
That
Michael
was
Moreland right
cool.
down there. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
very
was
cool.
a great experience.
We need
Where
to
was
get that
that?
video on this, or at least somewhere on our.
Yeah, I gotta
That was
reach out to them and get something made from that, because that was a cool experience.
Very
But
cool.
yeah, and then at every single night, bar citizens, it's nerds meeting up.
Hello, Bob.
Do we have anything else to do, or are we?
You have somewhere to be?
Yeah, I think that kind of covers most of our questions and topics.
I think so.
Yeah.
So that was a
Well-
great show. Thank you to everybody for joining us.
Thanks for
I had a
chiming
really
in,
great
Zalo.
time. I
That
think we had a
was
good time.
key. Yeah.
So where can they
Remember
catch
Chris's
us?
Bottle?
So we are every Wednesday. We do this show from 7 p.m. until probably about 9 p.m. That's PST or
PST.
10 p.m. until
PST, you West Coasters.
Yeah,
Let's
and-
talk with the most. Of the
and in
world goes
Eastern
by.
from 10 until midnight roughly. And then we're
Let's
looking
talk
at
about
doing the
Saturday.
same time period right now. So the same time zones, same time slots for Saturday night. And Saturday is a little bit different, where we're going to be doing some gameplay. So we're actually going to get in a 600i, make it a party boat, and go out on a cruise and chat with each
Scotch plus
other
Scotch
and,
plus extra
and
women plus
see
Scotch.
some of the sights and try not to get shot if anybody's trolling us. And that's for all of you that are thinking about trolling us. Don't do it.
No,
Don't do
Saren's
it.
going to be on our
do
cover, so we'll be all right.
That's right.
Yeah.
We got to talk to him about that.
and join us in the Discord if you want to chat with us at any time.
That's
Yeah,
right.
do that because
All in
I
the
feel like
Discord.
it's a bigger room. I mean, well, I know Jordan and I actually still all of us are used to the Jump Club, which is just 890 owners. I feel it's really limited, but recently there's been a lot of people jumping into the
A lot
Yacht
of
Club
growth
SC,
in the Yacht
and
Club.
I feel like it's really cool because it's people I haven't interacted with. You
Yep.
know, maybe you haven't had a chance to buy an 890 because let me tell you, it's pretty limited, but it's been really cool talking to some new people. So
Yeah.
yes, please join us. I think that's. We're not turning anyone away. That's for sure.
And we have a link
Just
for
bring
that
alcohol.
in the description of the video as well.
Welcome
We'll try anything.
Every citizen.
So
Well,
great,
I'll try
guys.
anything.
Thank you so much. Please like and subscribe so you can get notifications and watch us every week.
Oh.
We'd love to have you join us. Come join us on Saturday. And
Oh, are we getting a stream raid? T Nicer said,
Tonight?
"Are we going to stream it?" T Nicer,
Yeah. Who are we going to raid?
The show. Should we stream raid? Do you have a target,
What?
sir?
T Nicer, jump into voice here.
Find somebody. God knows. How does that work?
We got CERN in the main channel.
We got
First
T
streamers
Nicer.
here. Stream raid. What?
Well, if we've got a target, let's go after it.
Yeah, this
Let's
is our first
support the
time. We haven't
community, right?
raided
Yeah.
anybody yet or hosted anybody, so we're gonna figure out how to do that.
Hey guys.
Hey, T Nicer, how you doing?
T, here we go. Do
T
we have a
Nicer
target?
is our amazing moderator that
One
is
of our-
working
Yes,
behind
Mr.
the scenes
T-Nicer
to make
from
everything
the
work.
T-Nicer.
Tennessee community.
How about we raid her tonight?
Okay.
Who is it?
Sure.
Yeah, T Nicer. Who is that again? We're gonna raid.
Taser beams?
Yeah, let's do it.
Laser beams.
Let's
Yeah, do it.
So T, just real quick, where are you from?
Tennessee.
You are in charge of all of Tennessee bar citizens, right? I just want to throw it out to you, man, because you do a great job.
I'm in Tennessee.
Awesome.
Tennessee
I have
Bar
a
Citizen
pin.
Organizer.
I have a pin. It's a nice pin. Too.
Yeah, it was a
Anyway,
great
we're
pin.
rating.
I do also.
Okay.
All right. Click the button.
Jordan,
All right. Good night.
Jordan
Good night,
finished.
everybody.
Good night,
Good
everybody.
night, guys.
everybody.
Thanks so
Thanks
much.
for fun.
Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.